knew the position I was in. I lunged for the ball, and it felt like somebody like kicks you and you just completely lose your balance. And for me, I like I heard it. Like it was almost like I had headphones on. And, kind of like the gunshot at like a track meet. When they start the race, that's what I like. It was pow.
It was that loud?
It felt like it sounded like it in my head. I mean, in an arena full of 20,000 people,
Right.
It was that vivid and clear. I knew what just happened right away.
Hey everyone, Craig Melvin here, and welcome to this edition of Glass Half Full. And let me tell you, today's guest, you know who he is, but there's a lot about him you probably don't know. Jayson Tatum, NBA champion, 6-time NBA All-Star, the cornerstone of the modern Celtics dynasty. But I think what you're going to find over the next, 30, 40 minutes or so is that Jayson Tatum he's a layered man. We talk about fatherhood. We talk about his father. We talk about coming back from that terrible injury and how that sort of changes your perspective a bit. It was a fascinating conversation with Jayson, and I hope you enjoy it. Jayson Tatum, welcome. Welcome to Glass Half Full.
Appreciate it.
We start every episode with a toast.
Okay.
You're in season right now, so you have water. I've got my trusty bourbon. To what are we toasting, Mr. Tatum?
A healthy comeback. Me returning off my injury, back to doing what I love to do.
Cheers to that, for sure. Double cheers for that. We'll get to the injury in just a moment, but generally speaking, would you consider yourself a glass half full kind of guy or a glass half empty kind of guy?
Always been glass half full.
Always?
Always, my entire life.
Why?
I used to always have this saying that everything's going to work out because it has to. And that's just how I would always approach life, moments, situations, even from when I was a kid. I just always believed things were going to work out for no other reason than just it has to. And I think just kind of like positive thinking going into whatever you're doing, it really does help. And I've been challenged with that, obviously, with my most recent circumstance of being injured. And I really had to challenge myself with telling myself every day that it's going to be okay because it has to.
It's a mantra that has served you well. We like to focus on the moments that really shape people, personally, professionally. Looking back on your life, is there a moment that you can point to where you can say, okay, I went from being Jayson to Jayson Tatum?
Career-wise, I would say getting drafted was one of the more special days of my life because all I ever wanted to do was be exactly who I am. And I knew that from my earliest memory when I was 3 or 4 years old. I knew exactly who I wanted to be. Me and my mom, we made a plan. I had an idea of how my life was going to go. So imagine at the age of 3 or 4, looking forward to, getting drafted. That was a 16-year process.
You were singularly focused in the playpen?
My earliest memory, so I might have been 5, but I remember waking up on Saturday mornings and playing at the YMCA. I remember telling my mom, like, I want to be an NBA player. I want to go to college for 1 year. I want to be a McDonald's All-American. I want to get drafted #1. I want to be on the cover of 2K. I want to have my own shoe. I used to, I really believed all those things.
When you were 5, 6 maybe?
Yeah. And it was more so like my favorite player was Kobe Bryant. Like, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be like LeBron or Kevin Durant, like all the guys I looked up to. So I just was like, I want to do everything that they did. And for me, getting drafted was such a special day. It was like, because I looked forward to this for 15 years or 16 years, whatever it was. And it was like hearing Adam Silver call my name was unlike anything I ever experienced. Because it's like, in my eyes, I worked towards it for 15 years, for every single day, for that moment. And it was so gratifying. And it meant the world to me.
You had spent your entire life working toward that moment. You mentioned Kobe Bryant, and I know the two of you had a relationship early in your career. What was that like?
It was special. For me, I always say the biggest act that we can demonstrate is like to inspire someone. And for me, I grew up in St. Louis in a single parent household, and Kobe Bryant was always my favorite player. I remember gravitating towards him, his interviews, his workouts, the way he played. I admired everything about him. And that was special because, somebody that played in Los Angeles and a kid from St. Louis, 2,000 miles away, he inspired me to chase my dream without ever even knowing who I was. And that was very powerful to me because I chased it. And, fast forward when I was a rookie, I developed a relationship with him and conversations over the phone. I went to his office and met with him. We worked out together. And that was just a full circle moment in my mind is because I was sitting across from him
Yeah.
and it was like, I can't put into words how much, you meant to my life and my career that now I get to, really get to know you. And that was really impactful and powerful to me.
They love you in Boston. They embraced you with open arms. And one of my favorite moments was after you won the championship, and it's you and your mom. What's the backstory on that?
Me and my mom are best friends. She was 19 when she had me, and I grew up in a single parent household my entire life. And, seeing my mom struggle to, raise me and put food on the table while going to school, while working. She is the most important person that I'm thankful for that I am who I am and my life turned out the way it did. When I got drafted, my mom moved to Boston.
Yeah.
We lived in the same apartment building, like down the hall. We live on the same street now. Like I am the definition of what it means to be a mama's boy. So just someone that literally has been there every step of the way, seen me in my highest moments and my lowest
Yeah.
moments. And, we're only 19 years apart, so we are really close.
Close.
So sharing that moment with her, was so special as well.
But what are they going to say now? That implies that the two of you thought they were saying something before.
Yeah,
And who's the they?
I think in this profession, especially now, 2026, it's inevitable. You can't get away from the outside noise. Everyone has a platform, everyone has an opinion, and it's easily posted. And so for me, there was a lot of chatter and a narrative around, especially early on, because in 2022, we made it to the finals and we lost. And granted, I was only 24 years old, and that was my third conference finals at the time, first time going to the championship. And I think, at that moment, it was just like, oh, he can't do it.
So you heard the noise.
Yeah, I mean,
You knew it. You knew what a lot of those folks were saying.
We all got smartphones. It's like, it's impossible not to see it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, I had been to the finals and I knew what it felt like to come up short. And 2 years later to get over that hump, it was like the weight of the world was off my shoulders a little bit.
Yeah. Let's go back to game 4 playoffs against the Knicks. And you go down. Did you know immediately when you went down what had happened?
Yeah.
How'd you know?
I mean, a few things. As an athlete, as a basketball player, we understand injuries. We understand certain movements that put you in a position to cause that injury. I know people that have had that injury, and it's always kind of the same. You push off, your leg, and I've heard people say they felt like they got kicked, and for me, that's exactly why I knew the position I was in. I lunged for the ball, and it did. It felt like somebody like kicks you, and you just completely lose your balance. And for me, I heard it. Like it was almost like I had headphones on. And, kind of like the gunshot at like a track meet. When they start the race, that's what I like. It was pow.
It was that loud?
It felt like it sounded like it in my head. I mean, in an arena full of 20,000 people,
Right.
it was that vivid and clear. I knew what just happened right away.
And what's the recovery been like?
Whew.
Because I'm going to read something that you tweeted. Day 45 of recovery. This some bullshit.
There's some
That,
bullshit for sure.
that's we can keep that in because that's a direct quote. I can't get in trouble. It's a podcast. What happened on day 45?
I remember vividly. I was in Boston that day, and I was doing my routine. I couldn't drive, so I would have a sprinter come pick me up. So I couldn't put weight on it. So I would have my walker to get to the shower. I would sit down, have to get undressed. I would have to put this plastic thing over my leg, walk her to the shower. I would sit on the shower seat. It would literally take me like 45 minutes to shower and get dressed. Then I would get on my scooter down the hall, and I would need help to get down the steps.
Yeah.
And I remember it was just it was raining. It was a cloudy day outside. I was going to rehab, and then my head was just against the window. And it was just like consecutive days of like doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, it was a terrible day outside. I was having a bad day. I couldn't believe this was like my reality. And I just kind of had a real moment.
But as we sit here right now,
Mm.
it seems like we're exponentially better.
Yeah.
Is that how you would describe it?
I've came a long way.
Okay.
It's been a long journey. Mentally, it's been the toughest part. Obviously, there were some physical hurdles early on. Uh, but I can honestly say, 47 weeks yesterday, that I'm proud of, how far I've came.
When are we back to 100%, you think?
It's one of those things is that it's hard to, because during this process, you do a lot of strength testing,
Yeah.
measurements and things like that you have to clear in order to go to the next step. Those all can be calculated and whatnot. As a basketball player, it's a feel thing. I remember what I felt like when I was at my best. I remember what I felt like physically, the moment like right before I got hurt. So it's hard to say exactly when, if it's another month or 6 weeks or whatever. It's just one of those things like I'll know. Like I know what it feels like, and there will be a game where it's like, all right,
I'm back.
I know I'm 100%.
It seems to a lot of folks that this injury, in particular, this Achilles injury, it's happening more often than it used to in the league. Any idea why that may be? I mean, is that just anecdotal, or is that?
Yeah. So, and trust me, I've asked 1,000 people 100 different questions about how to prevent it, why does it happen, and it's every specialist I've talked to would say they'd be lying if they could tell you exactly why it happens. I remember the very next day I got my MRI, and I asked the doctor, and I was like, if I got an MRI the day before, would you have been able to, tell me that I was in risk? And he was like, honestly, you might not want to hear this, but your tendon looks perfectly healthy. It was just an unlucky moment. And that was tough to hear because it was like I was doing everything right. I was
Right.
taking care of my body. I was, getting treatment. I was doing all my strength work every game day. Like I was on top of it. So for him to say like, your tendon looked perfectly healthy, you just got unlucky. That was a tough pill to swallow.
Speaking of pills, one of the ways that you've been able to deal with this, Vertex, you're paid spokesperson for Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Tell me about the partnership and what led to the medication.
It was honestly really an organic thing. There's different phases of this rehab process, right? I had surgery the very next day. So at 2 weeks, you get your stitches out. So after the 2 week mark, I got into a boot. But it wasn't until another 2 weeks that I was able to start 50% weight bearing. And that was when I had a conversation with Dr. O'Malley. He was like, you haven't, surgically repaired, and for a month you haven't put weight on it. This is some time period where you might experience some discomfort and some pain. And I had issues the day after surgery with the opioids that the hospital prescribed me for pain. It was making me very nauseous and sick. So that didn't really work for me. And so I was hesitant, and he was like, there are other options. And that's when we had a conversation about genamics, a non-opioid
Yeah.
for moderate to severe acute pain. And for my experience, that helped me during that process. And it was just perfect that I was able to have a conversation
Yeah.
with my doctor. And it was organic. It really, it was part of my story. And it led to a partnership that I'm proud to speak about and proud to work with Vertex. And more importantly, is just, using my story and my voice and platform to let people know that you have options, that you can talk to your doctor, that there
Yeah.
are other, things out there for you.
Let's talk about life outside basketball, because you're dad.
Yeah.
How does becoming a father, how does that change your perspective on life?
So I have two boys. I have an 8-year-old son, Deuce, and my youngest son, Dylan, turns 2 in
We've seen Deuce on the court.
yeah. So having two kids, I was 19 when Deuce was born. And that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me
At 19.
at 19.
How
I
so?
I can so you know, it wasn't planned. I didn't plan on that to happen. And it was tough because I was afraid. I was just leaving Duke. I was entering my new career. I was moving to Boston, new profession. I was starting my new life. And now I'm about to be a father. He was born in December. He was literally born 12 games into my NBA career. And I was nervous. I didn't think I was ready. Um, I wasn't even sure I was excited about, that because I was selfishly thinking about myself and, my career and what I wanted. And the moment it changed was when he was born and the doctor handed him to me.
Mm.
And funny enough, his name, so, obviously nickname is Deuce, Jayson Tatum Jr. That wasn't the plan. His name was supposed to be Jackson.
What happened? Is that a family name, Jackson?
It was just a name that me and his mom came up with.
Okay.
And I remember holding him and it just hit me and it was like, oh no, this is like, he looks just like me. And I was like, I want him to be a junior. And she was like, fine, she was like, we have to come up with a nickname because I don't want to call him Jason.
Yeah.
And for me, it's nothing more rewarding than being a dad. The bond that we have, the memories that we've been able to create, the responsibility that it gave me at 19 years old. Because it's tough, right?
Yeah.
19, you walk into newfound fame and wealth. There can be a lot of bad decisions,
Yes.
rightfully so. You're that young. Nobody can prepare you for that. For me, being a father gave me a sense of responsibility that before I made any decision, I had to think about, all right, does he need something? Are we going on vacation?
Yes.
I can't go out tonight. I
Yep.
have to go do X, Y, and Z with him. He has swim lessons tomorrow.
Yes. Gives you a sense of purpose.
And that really made me grow up a lot faster than I expected. And it was perfect timing.
How do you think not having that in your life growing up has shaped how you parent? Not having that father figure on a daily basis in your life, or has it?
So my parents they were high school sweethearts, and they were young, rightfully so. And my dad, I've known my dad my entire life, and I've been candid about that. When I was younger, we didn't necessarily have the father and son relationship that I would have hoped for and dreamed. My dad was a college basketball star, played at St. Louis University. He was teammates with Larry Hughes. My dad was, 6'7", big guy with a bunch of, he had tattoos. Like I thought my dad was super cool. Like I wanted to be like him. And, he didn't have the best
Example.
example in his life. And it took me a while to understand, give him grace on that. And I can honestly say, as I've gotten older, our relationship has gotten a lot better. But I can say that, some of his shortcomings as a father helped me because, I knew what I didn't want
Yes.
to happen.
You strike. Are you in therapy?
Uh,
Because I can, yeah, because I've been in therapy for years, and sometimes when somebody who's in therapy talks to somebody else, I can tell when you're in therapy, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah, I can do you. It's because I wrote an entire book about it. My dad didn't know who his father was until he was 13 or 14. Suffered mightily with addiction for years, and when I was in my 20s, maybe even early 30s, I had this terrible relationship. We were practically estranged. And the
Yeah.
older I got, the angrier I got. I resented him. And then all of a sudden, you start talking to professionals, and you're like, wait a minute. I wanted him to be something he wasn't capable of being. Like I grew up wanting Heathcliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
I wanted Dr. Huxtable, and here was a guy who, again, didn't even know his dad for most of his life, and so my expectations were unrealistic. And it sounds like you sort of made peace with that at some point too.
Yeah, I think you just alluded to, like, I didn't want to be another black man that was like angry at his father. And especially, my dad's still living. Like, I got to a point where it's like, I want to, be closer. I want us to have a better relationship
Yes.
than we did when I was younger. And, I can honestly say actively, we've gotten a lot closer, as I've gotten older.
Your therapist is good. I don't know how much you pay him or her, but you should give them a raise. Let's talk about philanthropy because that's become a big part of who you are as well. What's your why when it comes to philanthropy? What motivates you to be so generous? Not just because you're not just one of these guys that writes checks. Like you're actually doing the work.
Yeah. Again, it started. I used to have all these conversations with my mom when I was very, very young, elementary school. So I grew up in St. Louis. It's a tough city, small. There wasn't a lot of positive role models, a lot of positive things happening in, my community in the city of St. Louis. Um, and I wanted to change that. And at a very young age, like I used to tell my mom, I want to make it. I want to be the best basketball player in the world. And I want to give back. I want to I want people from St. Louis to be proud of where they're from. I want to come back and help change my community. And more importantly, I want to inspire the next generation. And through the Jayson Tatum Foundation, that's exactly what we've done. We have Daddy and Deuce toy and coat drives, Thanksgiving drives, back to school fest. I host a golf tournament every summer. Will be our sixth one coming up. And like you said, for me, it's so like I enjoy nothing more than going back
Yeah.
because, the kids, they see me on TV, they see what I do to give back. And but there's nothing more important than like them being able to see me
Yes.
and touch me and talk and
Yes.
have conversations. The joy on their faces when I come back into the gym or when I come speak to the schools or we host these events, as excited as they are, I'm equally as excited because it's like I remember I used to be one of you guys. And my main message all the time is, I grew up in the same city, in the same situations that you all did. And, not that you have to be a NBA player, right? I acknowledge I'm blessed with God-given ability. I'm 6'9". Like everybody doesn't necessarily have that. But I want to come back and show you guys that whatever you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish in life, for one, that I want to help give back
Yeah.
time and resources. And that is possible. That somebody from St. Louis that looks like you, that grew up in this environment, was able to do it. And hopefully that me as a positive role model gives you the courage to dream big and dream bigger than, where we came from. And that's what's most important.
No, listen, and it also, going back to St. Louis is also beneficial because you'll never have to pay for a meal or a drink ever again in your life in the city.
Yeah.
So you get to move around for free. This is a section called Craig's Curiosity. So these are questions that I've always just genuinely wondered about when it comes to Jayson Tatum. All right. Celtics group chat. Who's the most active? Who texts the most?
Me.
Really? Encouraging things, or are you trash talking people in the chat?
It's more like group events, for like, yo, we should go to dinner tonight, or
You're the organizer.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. What are you listening to before the game?
Like what type of music?
No,
Uh,
artists.
Jay-Z or Jay-Z or Drake.
Is there a particular song?
It depends on the day which album I'm listening to, but those are like my two favorite artists.
How does the day determine the song?
I wish I had a rhyme or reason. It's just, 1 week it might just be I'm just listening to Jay-Z, and then, I might go a week I'm just listening to Drake.
What's your go-to pregame meal?
I eat the same thing every single day pregame.
You're not gonna believe this. I was talking to Anthony Davis a while back.
He said the same thing.
Yes, and what he eats before game boggled my mind. Before I tell you, what do you eat before a game?
My chef, she makes me a chicken teriyaki bowl with white rice and veggies.
Okay, that actually sounds legit. Like that's a reasonably healthy meal for an NBA star to have before the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Anthony Davis has been eating before games for more than a decade now?
Chipotle?
No, chicken Alfredo.
That's not bad.
Chicken Alfredo, the cream sauce before the game, like.
Carbs.
But the cream sauce, that's a heavy meal, don't you think?
I mean, it's a big guy.
That's true. He is bigger. I didn't give him grace on that, and I should have. You're right. And he didn't defend himself with that. Which of your signature Jordan Brand shoes has been your favorite?
Ooh.
It's like choosing a favorite child. Wow, you're struggling with this one.
Because they all hold a special moment in my life. Like, you always remember your first.
Yeah.
So my first signature shoe was like dream come true. Everybody dreams of that. My second signature shoe, we won the championship. My third signature shoe was my favorite and was when I felt like it was the best year of my career, but it was also when I tore my Achilles. Fourth signature shoe is special is because it's like Jayson Tatum returns. It would be impossible to pick a favorite. They all equally hold a special place in my heart.
I mean, you could have picked one. You just chose not to. You just decided to. But I get it. I get it. Favorite St. Louis musical artist?
Nelly.
Of course. Anytime you talk to anybody from St. Louis who's been born in the last 25 years, it's the same answer. Nelly.
Yeah, and me and Nelly, we grew up in the same neighborhood. Like, that's like family.
2 questions for the road. What's one moment that Jayson Tatum's still chasing?
I would say winning another championship and holding up Finals MVP.
Can you do it in Boston?
Absolutely, and especially after what I've been through, it would mean that much more.
What's one moment that you hope people remember you for?
One moment?
One moment, just one. You got to pick one. And maybe that moment hasn't even happened yet. It could be a moment in the past or a moment in the future.
I think we all have a story, and as much as we would like our story to be smooth sailing and straight, it's not like that. What I've learned is we all go through adversity. We don't get to choose the adversity that we go through, but we do get to choose how we respond to it. And I'm not the only person that's ever been injured or went through a tough time. I obviously understand the platform and that I have, and being on a stage like the NBA and being who I am, the visibility of what I went through. I just hope that people will remember that he was a fighter, and what he did was inspirational, not only to athletes but hopefully people around the world that just show up. That's half the battle is showing up every day. And
Amen.
you know,
Amen.
if I showed up every day to rehab, I could get through the rest of it. I
Even
just had to,
even on day 45.
even on day 45.
There you have it, Jayson Tatum. And you thought you knew him. Really enjoyed the conversation. And it's one of those things where you spend some time with Jayson Tatum and you understand why he is so doggone fascinating. He's been through a lot, he's going through a lot, but I got a hankering feeling that Jayson Tatum is probably going to be hosting another NBA trophy pretty soon. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. The corporate overlords here at 30 Rock always want me to encourage you to do the 5 things. Download, share, comment, like, subscribe. I've finally gotten all 5 down from memory. Until next time, I hope your glass is half full.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.